And let me get YouTube up and going, and then we'll get right into it. I got some really pretty ribbon to show you. I can't wait for you to see it. Let me make sure I've got this muted. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Oh, good grief. There we go. Hello, hello everybody on YouTube. I'm still a little awkward signing on YouTube. I'll get the hang of it though. Hey Cindy, hey Christine, how are you guys? There's Liz. Hey Sue, Carmen. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Today I'm going to be working with the Easy Bow Maker. We did some handmade bows, and I don't remember what we did last week. If we did the Pro Bow or if we did another Easy Bow. But or maybe we did all handmade. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, I wanted to show you some ribbon. I did list a few of the ribbons we're going to be using today. The ones that I was really, really excited about didn't come in yet, but they're supposed to be here this week. So once those get on board, I'm busting at the seams. I've been waiting on them for months. So, but anyway, let's see. Let me get everything going. As I said, we're going to be working with the Easy Bow Maker today, and you know, Christmas, you know, I don't like to work with one directional ribbon, but I tell you, you almost can't avoid it at Christmas time. It seems like all my ribbons, well, not all of them, but a lot of my ribbons have one directional ribbon. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say one directional ribbon, it's a ribbon that has a pattern where everything goes in one direction, and there's an upside and a downside to the pattern. For example, this is a one-sided or one-directional ribbon. Okay, you'll also hear people talk about one-sided ribbon, and that is different. That means that you've got a pattern on one side and not on the other. Like this is a one-sided ribbon. I don't know if I've got any double-sided here. No, this one is. No, it's not. Well, anyway, a double-sided ribbon just means you've got a beautiful other. You got the right side of the ribbon, and the other side is beautiful as well. So, okay, all right. But I've got this gingerbread ribbon that we're going to be working with, and this ribbon. I've been waiting on this. It's one of them. This red plaid velvet with the chenille. It's got all the things I love. I love red. I love red and white at Christmas time, and of course we all love velvet, and then it also has the chenille edge to it. So I did list some of this in my shop. We're going to be pairing these two. What do I do with my things here, guys? I tried to get everything, all my table cleared off, and then I didn't put everything back where I wanted it. Hang on, I'll find it. Okay, we're good now. Sorry about that. You're probably thinking, what a dingbat today. I'm a little bit scattered. I was kind of rushing around. I've been doing computer work all day, and then, you know, trying to change gears and come to this. So, okay. Hey, Dottie. Hey, Linda. Oh, Linda, this is not a replay. We're live today. Okay. All right. We've got some YouTubers. Let me know who's over on YouTube. Okay. All right. I'm going to bring you forward, and then I'm going to drop you down, and that way you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So if it bothers you for the movement, close your eyes right now. I'm going to move you forward here. So you'll be right over the top here. Hey, Jerry. Okay. All right, let me fix one more thing here. Okay. All right, now we're ready. All right, if you are just tuning in and you're brand new to wreath making or bow making, this is the Easy Bow Maker. and you'll hear a lot of us talk about it. It is a really good starting tool for bow making, and especially if you have arthritic hands or you have sore hands, something like that. This is can be a lifesaver. I'm showing it to you backwards from me, but this is where the ribbon's going to be held, okay, like the spool of the ribbon. And then this is where we're going to make our bow. And right here, right where these pegs are, that's going to be the center of the bow. And I always get asked about this little peg here. It's just for teeny tiny bows, like infant bows. I have never used it, okay? All right, and then if you can see, it has the markings on either side with the inches on it, and that's handy so you can use this as a reference to make sure your bow loops are relatively even, okay? All right, now with the Easy Bow Maker, we're going to be building our bow from the bottom up, meaning the bow or the ribbon that is on the back side of the bow is what we're going to need to add first, okay? All right, for this, I'm going to use this red velvet or red plaid velvet here, okay? This is gorgeous ribbon. I just love it. Like I said, I saw it last year and I missed the boat on it, and whenever I went to market this year, I was sure I was going to get some. But so we're going to put the ribbon on the spool with the ribbon coming off the spool out and away from us, and that will keep this area clear, where it's going to be a lot easier to get the ribbon off, okay? If we put it around this way, it'll still work, but you're going to be kind of battling with the ribbon, okay? So I like to have it going up and around away from me, okay? All right, now this bow we're going to make is going to have tails. And for the tails, I like to use about 14 inches, sometimes a little bit less, but here it is Christmas time, so we're wanting nice bows, right? So what I'm going to do, I looked over here, I've got 8 inches and I've got 6 inches. So I'm just going to use that to measure where my tail is going to be, okay? And I'm going to have the right side of the ribbon up facing me, okay? I've got my finger here, or my thumb here, marking my spot, and we're going to slide this over. So again, this is going to be the center of my bow, okay? Right here where my thumb is. So I know this is 14 inches. All right, now I'm just going to lift this straight up. I'm going to drop it down vertically with the good side going away from me, okay? As I go down, I'm going to twist it, okay? And I'm going to bring my tail down here, all right? I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this ribbon. You can do it now or later, it doesn't matter. And to do that, all I do, I fold the ribbon in half, okay? Just fold the ribbon just in half, just like that, okay? Wired edges are here, folded edges here, and then I'm just going to take it and cut it at an angle, and that makes it a nice finished look, okay? Some people call that fishtailing, okay? All right, now again, I was talking about the one-sided ribbon. This is a one-sided ribbon. You can see we've got a good side with the pattern on it, and then we've got the side that doesn't have the pattern. It's one-sided ribbon as opposed to one directional ribbon, okay? All right, now I'm going to pick this ribbon up and just lift it into here with, again, I'm going to go down vertically. I'm going to have the good side pointing away from me. I'm going to make my bow loops about 5 inches, maybe a little bit more, okay? So I've got my finger here marking that 5 inches, you can see, okay? Actually, let me zoom in for you. That might help a little bit. Okay? All right. So there's my 5 inches. And we've got the good side of the ribbon coming up. I'm going to face this away from me, go down vertically, holding my finger here. When I get down a certain degree, it doesn't matter how far, I'm going to take that and I'm going to twist it and push it down. Okay? All right, so we've got our first bow loop made, okay? All right, I'm going to bring that out just a little bit. It looks a little bit small to me, okay? All right, now we've got the wrong side of the ribbon up. Now, the whole reason we're twisting it is so that we have the correct side of the ribbon facing us. If we didn't twist it, then once we make another loop, we're not going to have the right side, the ribbon, okay? All right, now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to find 5 inches, okay? I'm going to hold my thumb there and mark it, okay? So again, here's the middle of my bow. I've got my thumb down here at 5 inches, okay? I'm again going to take this down vertically with the good side pointing away from me, twisting it as I go down. Okay. All right. And every time I go down to the middle, I'm going to push that down so that my middle of my bow is nice and tight. That's what's going to make those bow loops pop open. Okay. All right. Now I'm just going to repeat the process. I'm going to make 3 loops on either side of this ribbon. Okay. So I've got 1, and now I can just use this other loop to gauge my distance, okay? So I'm going to take it just like this. Okay, lay it on top of it. Don't worry about it if it's not exactly right. That's okay, all right? Now, if your bow loops are grossly uneven, of course you'll want to fix it, okay? But if it's in the ballpark, nobody's going to be able to tell, okay? All right. Twist it as we go down. Okay. Pushing it down in the center. And we're just going to repeat the process one more time. Twist it. Push it down. Okay. Now, this is going to be the last loop we're going to put on this side. Okay. So there's no reason I need to twist it because the good side is already showing, and I'm going to want that to continue on down my tail. Now, if I was making another loop, then of course I'd need to twist it, but I don't need to, okay? All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to compare it with my other loop, okay, and mark it. And I'm just going to pinch it. And then I'm just going to set it down in there, okay? All right, and this ribbon is beautiful enough. If you wanted to stop right here, you could, really. I mean, it's a gorgeous ribbon. And I've seen it used as the single ribbon in several designs before. Like I said, I missed the boat on it last year, so I didn't get to use it, but you can guarantee I'll be having some designs coming out with it. All right, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to measure and compare it up against my tails. Let me open that up just a little bit. I'm going to compare my tails here. Again, it does not have to be exact. In fact, when I'm making a wreath, I don't want my tails all the same length, okay? But when I'm making just a bow to sell, which I don't know about this one, I probably will sell this one, I want to make them even because I don't know what my customer's taste is. If they want them uneven, then they can, go ahead and trim it themselves. Okay. Hey, Julie. All right, now, the next ribbon, we're going to use this gingerbread, okay? And again, this is what we call one directional ribbon. All the gingerbreads are going the same direction, okay? All right, so we cannot make this bow the same way that we did the other. We can't do it the traditional way, okay? We basically, with the one directional ribbon, this is the way I do it, okay? We basically make the bow outside of the maker, okay? We still use our guides here, but we pretty much make it outside the maker, okay? With this horizontal ribbon, or I'm sorry, this is vertical ribbon, okay? Now the horizontal, I showed you a way we can do it differently, but we're playing with the vertical ribbon right now, okay? All right, now I'm looking down on my mat. I've got my inches lined up more or less here because I can't really see my numbers now. I'm wanting to make this bow loop about 4.5 inches. The other one was 5. I want to bring it in, kind of shrink it in a little bit so you can still see both both ribbons, okay? All right, so I'm marking my I've got my thumb here, and I'm kind of gauging where I want that to end, okay? All I've done, I've just taken a loop. This is the end of the ribbon right here, and I've just looped it underneath, okay? All All right, now let's find about 4.5 inches. I'm going to take it, I'm going to pinch it and stick it in there. Okay? All right, now I'm going to just bring this right over the top. Get it untangled here. All right, and again, I'm looking down on my mat to see about where 4.5 inches are. Marking it with my thumb. I'm going to pinch it and set it down in there. Okay? All right, now we've got half of our bow made. How easy was that, right? Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and we're going to trim off our ribbon. And I try not to cut. I've got a gingerbread man right here. I'm going to try to avoid cutting him. I don't like to leave half a pattern. I do on occasion, but I don't like to. I like to try to plan better than that. Okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this. Okay? Isn't that pretty ribbon? I love it. Love it, love it. All right, now let's make the other side. And again, we're going to be making the bow mostly outside the bow maker. Okay? All right, let me get, whoops. Oh, my goodness, this is the end of this roll. Okay. All right, so which way we need to go? This way. So we're going to flip it upside down now. Okay. Remember last time we had it like this, right? With the raw end is going to be on top this time. Okay. All right, and I leave plenty of tail out here because I'm going to be tugging on this ribbon and I don't want this tail to be sliding out accidentally. I will trim that back down before I would use it or ship it off, but I just don't want that be pulled out, okay? What am I doing here? Here we go. All right, so we're putting that on top. Comparing it with my other loop, I'm going to pinch it. All right, slide that right down there. Okay, and again, every time I'm pushing that down, I mean, we've got a lot of thick ribbon here. So you can notice the pegs are starting to fall apart and you know, it's just working its way up. So try and push that down as best you can. All right, again, I'm going to use this other loop here, compare it. I'm going to pinch it. And I'm going to slide it in there. Okay? All right, now we got gingerbread men that are happy and go in the right direction. Okay? All right, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to trim this off. Dovetail it. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to finish off with just a solid red velvet ribbon. Well, no, it's solid in the middle, but it has the white chenille on it. Okay. I made a practice bow with this just for a picture. And let me show it to you. I changed out the ribbons. In fact, I'll go back and I'll change this ribbon out. After I got it put together and looked at it under the light, this ribbon here, I mean, it's beautiful ribbon, it's velvet, but when I compare it to this ribbon, it's a little bit more orange. I mean, it's more of an orange red than this is. This is like a Santa red, okay? So I am going to change this out. I just want to point that out. You know, I mean, we do have different colors of red, which, I mean, everybody knows that, but I don't want my customer to get that, and, you know, I don't know who's going to buy it. I don't want them to get it and then, you know, that really bother them, which, looking at it, it would bother me. so I'll be changing that out. But this red is more of a flat red. I think with the other one, it had a lot of nap to it too, and it just made the color that much different. But this red matches this velvet exactly. Plus it has a little bit of the chenille. It's not my favorite chenille, but I'm saving that. I have one. I'm on my last roll of that. I know you guys that watch me, I know you've seen that. You know which one I'm talking about. All right, now I'm going to take my tail down here. I'm going to compare it to my last tail. Each time I'm doing a tail, I'm making it just a little shorter than the one behind it. Kind of like layering it, okay? All right, so I got my tail. I've got my mark up here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to twist it. Remember, the good side was going away from me when I put it in there. Okay, bring our tail down here. And I'm just going to put one loop on either side, okay? And as I'm handling this ribbon, I'm trying to keep my hand on here because, again, it's trying to push it up, okay? All right, now this last ribbon here, I don't want it to be the main ribbon. I mean, it's beautiful, but these two ribbons I want to be the star of the show, so to speak, okay? This is just more or less an accent or a highlight, okay? So I'm going to make it pretty small, and I'm going to bring it in about probably 3 inches. So that's about right there, okay? Again, I'm going to take the good side away from me, take it down, twist it, okay? Now, I'm just doing the one loop on either side, so I do not have to twist this last time, okay? I'm going to pinch it and just set it down in there, okay? All right, trim it off. I forgot to dovetail this one. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to try to keep these a little bit shorter than I do the main one, again, for the same reason I made this somewhat smaller. I want the other, I want these little gingerbread men down here on the bottom. I don't know if you can see them. I want those to be able to be seen. Okay? All right, now, the tricky part. Let's get this off of here. Now, it's a little bit more difficult with all, this is thick ribbon. Look how thick that is there. That's a lot of ribbon. So you want to be really careful as you're raising this up and off of this, off of the maker. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a zip tie to secure this. Now, sometimes I'll tell you, if you don't have a zip tie, you could use a pipe cleaner. This is so thick and the ribbon's pretty stiff, I would use a zip tie. You could use a pipe cleaner, I guess, but it'd probably take 2 of them. 2 of them twisted together, and again, it might not be as secure as you want it, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this zip tie. I want to make sure this little knob here, can you guys see that knob? See that knob there? I'm going to make sure that is pointed down toward the floor, okay? Because otherwise your zip tie is not going to secure correctly, okay? It's just going to slide in and out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go underneath all the ribbon, and I'm going to put my zip tie in there diagonally through these pegs, okay? That way it helps me get the middle of the ribbon. Some people will do it on either side. I never can get my bow loops even that way. So I do it diagonally. And I go down below all this ribbon, and I'm sticking it through those 2 pegs, just like I just showed you. Make sure you have all your ribbon, okay? All right, now I'm going to take it up and over, and I'm just going to tack it down. I'm not going to tighten it. I'm just going to hear it click just a couple of times there, okay? All right, once I hear that, then I'm going to go ahead and start lifting it up. Get that out of the way. I'm going to work on getting all my tails the way I want them and all my bow loops, okay? Now, I do not have this zip tie cinched down all the way, so I need to hold this ribbon while I'm maneuvering it so I don't lose my bow loops, okay? And especially, remember, on 2 of these, we've got tails in there, and we could real easily remove the ribbon if we pull on it too hard, okay? Isn't that cute? I love this. Love it, love it. Anybody working on gingerbread designs? Hey, Jen, how are you? Okay. All right, so we've got that, and we've got, I want to be sure, this has the 2 loops. I want to be sure that the single loop is right in between of them, and I want the middle loop right in between these 2 also, okay? All right, now, once I'm happy with it, I'm going to hold it nice and tight, turn it over, I'm going to cinch it down just a little bit, okay? Now, I'm going to need something to secure it to the wreath, the banister, the light fixture, the lantern, whatever I'm going to do it, or you put it on. So I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. I'm going to slide it underneath of that zip tie. Okay. I'm going to turn it back around, and I'm going to cinch it down once I make sure I'm happy with it. Okay. And at this point, I'm going to, once I'm happy with it, I'm going to snug it down pretty tightly. That's going to do 2 things. Number 1, of course, is going to secure your ribbon. And number 2, you can see how now the bow loops really pop, right? Okay, now, we still have that zip tie there, okay? Oh, thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Jen. All right, so I don't want that to show. Now, if I was putting this in a wreath, I probably would leave it because I do other things to the middle of my bow when I'm making a wreath. But for this, I'm going to go ahead and finish it. I wish I had some more of this that I could put there, but I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, which one do I want to use? Let's go ahead and we'll use the red velvet, which I hate to waste that on there, but got to do what you got to do, right? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and this is 1.5 inch ribbon. You can use 2.5 inch ribbon, but you'll want to cut it in thirds, okay? All right, I'm going to cut this right up the center. I'm going to go up about 8 inches or so. 8, 9, 10 inches. Just don't short yourself at this point, because it can get really hard to tie. Okay? And I'm leaving this on my roll. That's the way I store it. But I do know I'm going to have to replace that other ribbon anyway, so I know I'm going to be using that. Okay? All right, now I've got half of that ribbon. I've got a raw edge and a finished edge. I'm going to take that, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take that raw edge and I'm going to fold it to where the raw edge is not exposed. Okay? Now this ribbon here will not ravel. This velvet won't ravel, but you will find a lot of ribbons that will. Okay? I'm going to take that now and I'm going to slide that right over that zip tie. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to make sure that I've got all my tails on the right side. And I tell you that because I've done that. I've gotten that tied and thought I was all done, and I wasn't, because I had 2 tails on the wrong side. All right, now I'm going to flip it over. Oops, I forgot to clip that zip tie off. Okay. All right, I'm just going to take this now, and I'm just going to tie that in a knot. And I almost made it too short. That's why I was telling you, don't short yourself on this, because it can be hard to tie it. And I got little sausage fingers, and they just don't want to work in tight spaces like that. Okay. All right, we'll trim that off. Okay. All right, now I still have those tails in there though, remember? So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to trim those off too. Make sure I'm cutting the right thing. As I've said before, most of these things I tell you, like forewarn you, like things like that, it's because I've done it myself. Trying to save you guys some grief. And don't cut them too short, just where they're not visible from the outside of the bow. Okay? All right, and then get all your bow loops all straightened out again. Okay. All right, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Mary Ann's wanting to know, did I use all 2.5 ribbons? No, I used 2 2.5s and 1 1.5 on this one. And if you wanted to, you could do all, 1.5 inch ribbons. I'd just add a few more loops, depending on how big you wanted your bow. But yeah, these are these two are 2.5s, and this is a 1.5. I usually do like to finish off my bows with a smaller bow, or a smaller ribbon, I mean. I just think it makes it, kind of draws the eye into the center of the bow. So, okay. All right, I need to make another bow. And this one is not one-sided, so we'll go a little quicker. I'll still talk through it, but it'll go a little quicker. And actually, let me zoom out here. I need to make one for a nutcracker design. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. I had another, oh, here it is. Okay. I was going to say, I knew I was running low on this one. I knew I had another emerald green somewhere. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Oh, Debbie from Ohio. Good to see you. Hey, Dawn, Angie, Linda. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. All right. I know I want to use this ribbon right here. And like I said, I need to make a nutcracker design that I've made before. I had not decided up until now whether it's going to be a wreath or a swag. I had pulled this gorgeous gold ribbon. I had some of this in my shop. I think it's sold out now, but this is gorgeous. Fair silk gold. It kind of is like a web almost. Gold ribbon, 4 inches. Let me think here. I think I'm just going to go with the swag. Or do I want to? No, I'm gonna stick with the swag. All right, so now to choose the ribbons, and the reason I decided not to work with the 4-inch, I mean, you can use 4-inch ribbon in a swag, but I want to marry all these colors together, and I think it's going to be too much going on. I wanted to be sure to bring in the emerald green, and if I had to add the gold, and then I wanted to bring in this red, and then another ribbon, that might be too much for the size of a swag, and you don't want to overwhelm your design. So I think what I'm going to do, of course, I know, like I said, I know I want to use this ribbon. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the red, I'm going to use the 2.5-inch emerald, and then I'm going to finish it up with this gold. It's kind of a mesh. It almost mimics this, only this one doesn't have a lining in it, but it's really gorgeous. I wish you could see how sparkly this stuff is on camera. I was just complaining about that the other day when I was doing video, trying to show everybody what I'd made. It's so hard to translate sparkles, right? Okay. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to make as big a bow with this. I'm going to probably use 3 loops total of this one. Let me think how I want to do this. I think I want to use the emerald as a background. As I said, I don't know how much of this I've got. Let me look here. I don't think I've got enough to make a bow. So we'll go ahead and open this one up. And I like to usually use my solids as a background, again, to try to highlight. And I'm going, as I said, I'm going to put 3 loops on one side, or I'm sorry, 3 loops on these 2 ribbons here, these 2 2.5-inch ribbons. And so it'll have 2 loops on one side, 1 on the other, and then vice versa on the other ribbon. So I'll show you what I mean here in a second. And again, I'm putting my ribbon on with the ribbon coming off and out away from me. Okay, isn't this gorgeous? I love that ribbon. It's called a lame. It's kind of like a crinkly lame. Usually ribbons like this are not very good bodied, but the wire is really good on it, and it's really a good quality ribbon. I love it. Wish I'd have bought more of it. All right, now, again, I'm going to get my tail. Let's see. You know what? I'm not going to make a big tail for this because I don't know where I'm going to put it on the swag, except other than the top. So I'll be able to add tails later. So I'm just going to make about an 8-inch tail. And on my swags and a lot of my wreaths, I like to have tails coming out the top, and like to bring the eye up and over the swag. So I'm going to leave just a short tail, let's say about 8 inches. Okay. Now this is double-sided ribbon, but I'm still going to pretend like it's not. I still go through the motions just like it's not. So I'm going to have this ribbon, the good side facing away from me. I'm going to twist it, push it down. Okay. And I'm going to make about, let's see, do I want 6 inch? I think I'm going to make this one about 6 inches, 6-inch loops. Okay. And again, I'm going to bring this ribbon down vertically. Good sides going away from me. Twist it. Okay. Now I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look for my 6 inches. Mark it with my thumb. Go down vertically. Good side away from me. Push it down. Okay. So we've got 6 inches, 6 inches. I'm going to make one more on this side, and I'm not going to twist it this time because this is going to be the last loop. Okay, I'm going to pinch it. With my swags, I usually don't make my bow as large as I would, say, for a wreath, because they can get pretty overwhelming. You don't want to do that. Now, if I wanted to bring some more tails in, I could go ahead and make a loop here and then cut it to whatever length I want later. But I'm not going to. I'm just gonna cut it about 8 inches, just like the other one. Okay. All right. Now the next ribbon. It's this red velvet with the emerald green and gold. I love it. Seems like the emerald green has really taken off this year. Whoops. Oh, I must have stole from this before. All right, we've got a glue spot here. Let me see if I can make that to where I can put it right in the middle of the bow. Oh, and that'll work out perfectly. I'm just going to, what I'm talking about is I've glued this back together. I had too much to waste on the, whenever I must have used it last, I don't even remember. Oh, and I glued it back together. I'm going to use that as the center of this bow. Okay, that way it's not going to be seen, and it'll have a little bit of extra reinforcement there. Okay, all right, so I'm going to, let's see what I want to do. I'm actually going to make the tail come this way because I want the 2 loops to be on this side. Okay, let me think this out here where I can put that glue spot here and still have 6 inches. I'm going to make 3 loops, 2 on this side, 1 on this side, and it's going to be 6 inches. Okay, all right, so let me think here. Okay, let's put this down this way. Got it. Just want to make sure that glue spot is right there in the middle. All right, so let's bring this back here to the center. See the glue spots right there. And you will have that, and sometimes it's just part of the manufacturing. This one I did myself. Like I said, I didn't want to waste that ribbon. But it's just part of the manufacturing. You'll come across those, and if you can plan for them, then do that. Sometimes it happens where you don't even know it's coming, and it's right in the middle of your bow loop, and then of course you gotta do what you gotta do. But all right, I'm gonna come over here at 6 inches. Good side's going away from me. Let's twist it, push it down. Okay, and this is going to be the last loop. So I'm going to mark out I'm going to compare it to my last loop here. I'm going to pinch it and just slide it down in there. Okay. Oh, Jen, he's better. He's gone back to work. Thank you for asking. He told me yesterday he was about 90%. So that means for me and you that he's probably about 75, because he does not complain. You know, some men just complain and whine and carry on. I was married to 2 of them like that. Then there's others like him that's just hard-headed and don't ever tell you when they're sick until they're in dire straits. That's the way he is. But he is much better, but thank you for asking. Okay. So like I said, I wanted 2 loops on this side of the green, 1 loop on this side. I wanted 2 loops of the red, 1 loop on this side. Okay? All right, now I'm just going to finish it off with the gold. And again, just like the last bow, it's going to be somewhat smaller because I want this just to be more of an accent than anything. Okay? Oh, my picture's frozen. I wonder if it's your end, Marianne. I'm good on both of my computers that I can see. Is anybody else freezing? All right, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get me a tail again, about 8 inches. Twist it as I go down. And this one I'm just going to put 1 loop on either side. Okay, and again I'm going to do about, well, this one was do a little bigger because it's going to be in a swag, and sometimes they can be kind of sunk down in there. Oh, Rhonda's wanting to know, do you have your sticks on the Easy Bow Maker separate a little bit more? It looks, okay, Rhonda, that was because of the last bow we made. It didn't start out this way, and just as you make it and you push down in the center of the ribbon, that kind of pushes those apart. You have to hammer them back in about every time I use it. All right, but anyway, I'm going to make this center about 4 inches, again, because it's going to be in a swag and it's going to be kind of smushed down, so to speak, if that's a word. So, oh, it's okay now. Good, Marianne. All right. So I've got my 4 inches here. I'm going to twist it. Come back. Find my 4 inches. Again, I can't see, so I'm using my cutting mat. Found my 4 inches here. I'm going to pinch it and bring it down. Okay. And let's cut this off. Now notice I did not dovetail anything either because, again, I'm going to be using this in a design. I usually like to wait until I get it in the design before I trim it. And usually it's one of the last things I do. Okay. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing with my zip tie. I'm going to make sure that knob is toward the bottom, facing down toward the floor. I'm going to go diagonally through my pegs. Lift that up gently. All right. Slide it over diagonally and just cinch it down lightly, not all the way. And then we'll raise it up. Get that out of the way. Okay. It's still cinched lightly. Okay. Get all my bow loops spread out here. Get the tails the way I want them. And this is a point too where I look to see that my bow or my ribbons are twisted completely. I've got a habit when I get in a hurry that I don't twist it completely, and then the ribbon won't lay right. Okay, your pleats won't be right. You've got to turn it complete 180. That's what I'm checking here and fixing it as I need to. Okay, and let's see, I want this tail going up this way. Going down that way. Okay. And then the gold this time, you know, on the other, you know, I wanted to be sure that it's in between the two. This one you can go either way. I'm kind of wanting a loop up this way because I don't have a bow loop coming to here. And then I'll be able to adjust that more once I get it in the design. Okay. And if I got my bow loops going this way, I want my tails going this way. All right, now I'm happy with the way I've got this. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put a zip tie. I'm going to cinch it down. Okay. All right, clip this off. If I was thinking, I would have used, since I'm going to be using this in a design, in an evergreen design, I should have used this. I didn't show this to you. If I was thinking far enough ahead, I would have had it. But I like to buy this when Hobby Lobby has it. It's just an evergreen garland. And I use these just like pipe cleaners. And they're really nice for bows that you're going to be placing in evergreen, because then it just blends in. You just really have to hunt to see it. And it's pretty sturdy, but this time of year I try to buy a bunch of it to last me. Because, you know, even in the summertime, I use evergreen. So, all right, I'm going to zoom back out. And again, I'm using this in a design, so I'm not finishing the zip tie. Okay. All right, I'm going to raise you guys up. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Oh, Sue's wanting to know, next week will I do a pro bow? Absolutely. I don't do it as much because I think people don't like it as much, but I love the pro bow. But yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. I'd love to. Let me look. I'm going to see if I'm missing any questions, you guys. Oh, hey, Vince. I didn't even see you there. Thank you. Hey, Linda. There's Ethel May. Lori's wanting to know where I got my ribbon. I got this from a wholesaler. I did have some in my shop. I don't know if this one's sold out or not. You might go on there and look. I did have a kit that made this bow, but I don't know if it's sold out or not. And I do have, if you're asking about this other ribbon, I've got some of the red ribbon, and I've got a couple of kits that I put together. Not a whole lot. I don't have any of this ribbon in a kit, but you might just go there and look. But I get most of my ribbon from a wholesaler. Okay, let me see if I'm missing any questions here. Okay, I don't see any questions there. Let me look over here on YouTube. Anybody on YouTube have any questions? I really appreciate all you guys being here. But I did put a link, if anybody's interested in looking at the ribbons. I put a link in the comments on Facebook. I haven't done it on YouTube yet, but I will. But it's at boxmybow.com, and that'll take you to my shop. And like I said, I don't know if I still have this or not. I'm just using off my stash. So, and I've got some other really nice ribbons. Like I said, I've got some I can't wait to get. I mean, I've had so much trouble getting this ribbon, but it's supposed to be coming here this week. I can't wait to show you guys. I bought it for a specific design in mind, and I just haven't got it yet. So, okay. Anybody else have any questions? All right. I don't see any other questions. Oh, Donna's wanting to know, do you prefer your bows on the bottom of the wreath or your top? Either one. It just depends on what I'm making. Seems like lately I've been putting them on the bottom. I guess all those guys are on the bottom, but it seems like more on my floral designs, I'll put them on the top more than anything. But it just depends. But yeah, I probably do it on the bottom most, but that's just my style. There's no right or wrong on any of it. Oh, Vince, you got that kit from me? Good. Good. Yeah, they are gorgeous. And like I said, you don't appreciate how pretty they are, I don't think, on camera. It just doesn't relate the all the sparkles. But I can't wait. I've been meaning to make another design with those ribbons, but I have all these other things I've been doing. So, okay. All right, let me see. YouTube, no other questions? Okay, all right, well, that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions later on, just give me a shout. And I will be doing the Pro Bow next week. We'll see if we can't find some fun ribbons, and hopefully other will be in by then. And yeah, and then what is today's Tuesday, so I will be live also Friday this week on my usual time, about 12 o'clock, unless I pop in earlier. Sometimes I just spontaneously, like did the other night. I try to, if you're on my text list, I try to send a text out about 30 minutes before just to give you a heads up. So, okay? All right. All right, thanks you guys again, and I really so appreciate you being here and giving me all your support. I know there's lots of people out there that you could be watching right now, but I really do appreciate it. So if you wouldn't mind, bless us on your page. That'll be kind of like my little tip jar, and that'll help me out as well. And I think that's all I have, so I will see you next time. Bye-bye.